Yo, what it do, St. Louis? Y'all know what it is. It is time for Hustle, St. Louis Hustle podcast with Cortez, Hustle, and Michelle. Hey, and
Hey,
today
we right here, man. What's going on?
we're talking about the importance of business coaching and mentorship, but this goes across the board. It don't have to be business coaching. You could have a life coach, a family coach, a marriage coach. So what we're gonna do is roll this intro for the time being. So let's get into our intro.
Growing up in St. Louis has never been easy, and most say if you want to succeed here, that you must leave and put down roots. What's up, man? What's up, Ted? We do, because we just jumps right on into stuff. We need like we need some catchy. We need a hook.
We
What
need
the
a hook. Hey, Murphy Lee said we don't need no hook.
man? We need some catchy beat. You know what I'm saying? We need like something that symbolizes like what we doing. You know what I'm saying? We need like a what up song. You know what I'm
That,
saying? Something that's like a like like a what up Tez?
what up, Shell?
Like
Yeah.
what up Tez?
What up,
Uh
Shell? Okay, okay.
something that like what's that 150 cent joint thing that uh that hustle thing. It was something in the club that there was some theme song 50 Cent used to do. It
Yeah,
was some
yeah.
oh what up what up Tez? What up? You know what I'm saying? You get what I put down?
What up, Shell? Yeah, yeah.
What
Okay,
up
okay.
Tez? What
What
up Love? What up Tez?
what up,
Go in.
Shell? What up,
What up?
hustler? Okay, okay.
You give it just we just need to get a flow. What up, Tez? One time.
What up, Shell?
What up, Tez?
What up,
What up, St.
Shell?
Okay, here we go. What up, Tez? What
What
up, Shell? What up, St. Louis? What
what
up,
up,
Hustler?
hustler? Okay, okay.
Boom. There it
Well,
is.
how about this, man? Any of our musically inclined friends of the show want to help us out with some theme music, an
Right,
intro?
right.
We trying. So do us a favor, go ahead and shout yourself out, man. Where you at? What set you tuning in from? This is all St. Louis all the time. Um,
Yeah,
I don't know if you
we try.
guys got a chance to catch out our our question of the day last week, but
Right.
Chalet actually was in the streets and got a couple
Man.
video responses to last week's question of the day. So
Okay.
I'm trying to get the monitor together so I can see a little something, something, so I
Right.
can see
Right.
people's questions and their comments. There we go. There we go. All right. Well, I might need to turn down that monitor. That will
Yeah.
work. There we go. All right. So we good. We good there. All right. So you had a couple video responses to last week's question of the day. Before we get into this week's question of the day, Um, you want to cut to or set those up?
Yeah, yeah. So last week the question of the day is: can a former drug dealer go legit? You know, we know they can. People, convert their lives, change the hustle all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so the question was: once you go legit, once you have converted the hustle, can you run a legitimate business all the way legit? But can you run a legitimate business? Um, Legitimate with, like, can you run it without using the street strategy? That was the
Mm.
question, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was
Mm-hmm.
out the street, so I tried to get run up on people, because that's what I do. I run up on folks. So I was running up on people in the streets. I was trying to get some video responses, and it was really, really, it was fun. You know what I'm saying? So I was
Okay.
talking to folks, and so, but I ran up on these two mature gentlemen, and they didn't want to be on camera. So shout out to Joe and Jesse,
Mm-hmm.
Jesse from Jesse Automotive, Jesse Senior from
Okay.
Jesse Automotive, and they answered the question. Just they really expounded on it, and I love getting wisdom from our more seasoned gentlemen in the streets. They was out Sunday, was a beautiful day. They was out on their bikes. They was out there killing the game in North County. They was shutting it down on their bikes, doing the big, blasting their music. I was like, what is this? One of them was trying to be a sugar daddy with no sugar. I was like, come on now with the, you better stop it. Shoot now. But they had a lot of wisdom to share about that subject, and it was great. But they wouldn't let me record them. And then, you know what? I just inboxed a couple people on Facebook and they sent me their responses as well. So
Okay.
I know he's gonna share a couple of those. So yeah, go ahead and
All
roll
right.
that thing.
Let's roll it. Let's roll it. All right, man. Gotta love the guy sincere. Uh, he said, due to statute of limitation, I'm representing myself as counsel, so there's only certain things that I can and cannot divulge here.
Right. You get, yeah. I I don't even know where to go with all of that. Um, uh, yeah. That is the take on when we do hood business. Um, street street strategy in business. That answers it
Yes.
perfect. That's the street strategy right there. Perfectly. This week's question of the day. Since we are talking about entrepreneurship, it's all about entrepreneurship. And this week's question of the day, OMG, I got so much to say about this. Question is, can an entrepreneur, right? That is a person doing business, an entrepreneur, uh, can they be in a successful relationship with a person who is not an entrepreneur? Can an entrepreneur
Mm.
love a non-entrepreneur? Can they be in a successful romantic relationship? What you think? I personally, I ain't saying it can't work.
Well, don't
Don't
give
work.
them your answer yet. We're going to give you our answers at the end of this show. But I've got some thoughts on that as well. So do us a favor. If you want to be a part of the show and you want to answer this question in 60 seconds or less, go over to our Instagram page, St. Louis Hustle Podcast on IG, and drop us a DM video clip with your answer, and we'll see if we can get some of those up towards the end of the show. But I'm definitely going to give you my thoughts. Can a hustler and a non-hustler make that thing work? We
Yes.
know that entrepreneurs and non-entrepreneurs think different. So
Yes.
good question,
Yes.
Michelle.
I
So
have opinions on that. So yeah.
okay. All right. Well, when we come back, we're going to send a quick shout out to our sponsors. When we come back, we're going to talk about what's cracking in the Lou, Shell. So, what's going on? Got a huge weekend coming up. So, we'll talk about some festivities that's going down in the Lou.
Ask how you can sponsor this show.
Hey, so much going on. I like how you said the word credit score. I'm gonna let you have it today. I ain't even gonna tell you about the word credit score. Real quick though, I gotta make this comment. I was driving this morning because I had to get out real quick before we started this little broadcast thing. And I just signed up with new insurance. Anybody that knows me knows that my driving is suspect sometimes. So I signed up with. Can I say can I say the name of my insurance company? That's probably okay. So I'm driving with Root Insurance. They so judgmental. They send me these text alerts because I'm with them. I'm with them enough for them to take my money, but they send me these alerts like they're crunching numbers. Like I'm with them, but I'm not really with them because they're watching how I drive. And if I stop too hard or I go too fast, at the end of the month they keep driving. And I just feel really judged because I had to get where I had to get so I can get back to be with y'all. And they every time I go fast, they send me a text like, "We're crunching numbers, like we watching yourself." And I felt judged this morning, and you said the whole credit thing and insurance and all of that, and I was just like, I had a flashback, like, oh, I'm being judged. It just made me feel some kind of way. So, anyway, back to what's going on. What's cracking in the loo this weekend is this weekend, 314 Day is coming up. Yay! Right? Everybody's excited about 314 Day. I know I am. So I'm going to try to get out and do lots of things this weekend. Um, One of my favorite things to do on the weekend, but especially for 314 weekend, is I absolutely love the Marquee. The Marquee has the best brunch ever. And like, if anybody from the Marquee is watching, if they ain't watching, y'all need to like call somebody from the Marquee and like wake them up and tell them that they need to be watching STL Hustle, because like Michelle Aaye shouts them out, because if anybody from the Marquee is watching, or like they know somebody from there, they know this face because I'm there all the freaking time. I'm the loudest person at the Marquee because I'm the only one that drinks the mimosas and enjoys them. How do you drink a mimosa and not enjoy a
Oh
mimosa?
wow.
I'm like, how do you do that? I'm like, how you drink? It's unlimited. And I go with my cousin and we drink the mimosas and we laugh and giggle and enjoy the music, and everyone else is quiet. We're the
Wow.
loudest there because we're laughing, and we're laughing, giggling, and everybody looking at us. And they're like, what's with them? And I'm like, how do you not drink mimosas and do this while you eating, drinking mimosas? How you? I don't get it. Anywho, that's where I'm gonna be on 314 Day, is eating mimosas, eating the delicious food at the Marquee. So
Awesome, awesome,
Marquee.
awesome. And
Anyway, so but also we got these wonderful, wonderful, awesome T-shirts that we're gonna be Mr. Cortez and I, Mr. Hustle himself. We're gonna
yes.
be out in the streets with these limited edition STL Hustle T-shirts. Now, do we have a graphic by chance? I don't know if we have a graphic image of them.
We don't have a graphic queued up, but go to the page, man. Y'all see it.
My bad. I'm sorry. I did that to us. My bad. But we're
That's
gonna put it on the page.
yes.
I'll describe. They bad. Mm.
Yeah.
See, there it is.
You
See, you
just
gotta take off.
want to hit it. And I just love how we just created our own holiday, right? Uh,
Right,
we just said, hey, the area code around St. Louis is 314.
right.
We can actually put that on the calendar as third month, 14, 14 day. Hey, we just created a holiday and we don't need nobody permission to do so.
Right, right. We just made it a thing, and somebody signed. Who signed off on it? Like, who did they get down to City Hall? Who signed off on it and was like, you know what? It's a thing. There it is.
That's
Because
it. I don't think
I
nobody
think,
signed off on it. I just think we
I
just
think
said it's a day. We said it's a thing.
it's a thing, and they do it. They talk about it on the news, so it's enough of a thing where they talk about it on the news, and it's like they announced it. It's 1 4 day, so it's that doggone big where they're like celebrating it. It's like everybody doing it,
Yes.
but I
Yes.
just need to know who thought about it. Like, let's do it. Is that the weed day? Ooh, is
No,
that what? Hell, it's out. Is that it? Is that weed day?
it's not the
Ooh,
weed day. The weed day is 420. Not that I would know, but
I was up to say, mm, oh, how you know when that is? Here you go.
it is
Here you go,
420.
Louis. Hey, Mr. Hustle.
I'm just
Mm.
saying. I'm just saying. Listen, 314 day. Anyway, what else is cracking in the loop? We got a few other things going down. I don't know if you like any of this stuff, but I like to go and check out the Riverfront Times calendar and see what's going on. So we've got a lot of free stuff that happens in this city. So St. Louis Science Center is still doing that Da Vinci thing that Michelle will not go to. But 13 to 15 bucks, you can go see that. The Field House Museum got something going on, finishing touches this week as well. You know what else? There is, for all of my chess aficionados, if you like the game of chess, then a beautiful game, World Chess Hall of Fame, has got an event going down tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. You go learn all about the game of chess. Um,
Anybody show up down there, I'm pants and everybody go down there. Don't do it. Nah, try it. I'm sorry.
all right,
I'm
and then also, if you guys like jazz, the Dark Room at the Grandel has jazz dinner with Dave Vinn. So that's tomorrow. You can go check that out. So shout out to the Riverfront Times, man. They always try to keep people informed about what's going on in the city. And we are, go ahead, Michelle. You got your hand
Cortez,
up?
Cortez, pick me. I got something to say. Cortez,
Yes.
salsa dancing. See, right next to the chess event in the Riverfront Times, where
Hmm.
I'll be down there pantsing people who show up for chess. I will be down there. Getting all y'all. Try me. Hmm. Uh, but next to the chess event, I saw that there's a salsa dancing. They got there's a they're doing a dance class, salsa dancing, rumba dancing, cha-cha dancing, and you can get your Dancing with the Stars on. And
Really?
it's going to be at the excuse me while I get the name of this here place, the Majestic Dance Studio. Now I
Mm.
don't know what that is, but we're gonna find out. You have to Google it. I can't get all the information. But
Yes.
you do the work yourself. But we're gonna find out what that is. But it's at the Majestic Dance Hall. I love to dance. Anybody knows me know I like to shake my bum bum. So, but I'm gonna get out and do that. That is on the 12th, I believe. Yeah, that's on the
Okay.
12th from 7 to 8. I'm gonna check that out this week. I've always wanted to learn how to salsa dance. I just gotta find a partner. I've been having trouble finding a reliable dance partner.
Hey,
Somebody,
listen,
girl.
when you said Google it, you made me think about my father-in-law. He's working his new cell phone, and he's trying to get voice activation all together, and uh, Google doesn't comply because he doesn't just say, "Hey Google, call Cortez." He likes to say, "Hey Google, sugar, would you call Tezzy? I gotta ask him something." Uh, and Google is like, sorry, I don't understand.
Because he done called Google Sugar and called Tessie. I gotta ask him something.
Yeah, so
Boy,
we got to get him figured out on the actual Google and Siri etiquette and how to communicate with Alexa and all of these voice activation dealios here. Um,
right. We need that
yeah.
country cousin or something.
Yes,
Sugar,
yes,
Tessie. I
yeah.
gotta ask him something.
Yeah,
That is that's
Google don't understand. She don't understand. He was trying to get Google to call my wife the other day, and so by the time he got it figured, he never did get it figured out. But my sister-in-law heard the whole ordeal, so she just became the intermediary and texted my wife and said, "Hey, would you call your father because he's trying to get a hold of you?" Uh, and Google don't understand. Uh, so I don't know if you guys got parents out there who are in these kinds of situations trying to figure out this technology. But
hilarious.
drop a one in the comment for our folks trying to get this technology figured out. Hey guys, we have actually got to cut to this interview with our good friend JP CEO. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a quick commercial from Focus Network Media, and then we're going to get into our conversation that we had with the wonderful Miss JP CEO. All things business, coaching, entrepreneurship flows into and through JP CEO, man. So let me cue up my commercial real quick, and then we're actually going to let you guys hear the conversation that we had with the one and only JP CEO. So don't go nowhere.
Have you ever wanted to be on TV? If the answer is yes, we have great news. Social media is the new TV, and you are the star. And you don't need a crazy budget of millions of dollars.
At Focus Network Media, we teach business owners, entrepreneurs, influencers, and artists how to use video to build their own network on social media. You have the power of TV in the palm of your hand. Go where the people are, and the people are on social media.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our second episode of the St. Louis Hustle Podcast, coming to you live and direct from the St. Louis Credit Repair Institute studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Make sure you go check out stlcreditfix.com for all of your credit restoration needs. I'm your boy H. Cortez. That is my girl Shelly. And then over here, we have a very, very special guest. We were talking about business coaching and the importance of having mentorship, someone who's been there, done that, walked 10, 20, 50, 100 steps ahead of you, can help you dodge potholes and all of that kind of stuff. So as we were thinking about who we could bring on to shed some light on that subject, we couldn't think of any other person than the great JP CEO. So do us real quick a favor, JP. Tell us who you are and what qualifies you as an international business coach.
Well, thank you guys for the warm welcome. I'm JP CEO. I'm the owner of Unheard Media LLC, the founder of the Army of Entrepreneurs International, the founder of the International Podcast Alliance. I've been in business, it'll be 14 years in August. I've done everything under the sun, from just promoting bands and music to now teaching on an international platform, everything from leadership to podcasting. So I don't call myself an expert. I don't believe anyone is an expert. Things change too much, especially in the world of technology. However, I am probably one of the hardest working people you'll ever come across. I just don't stop. So I tell people all the time, there are people who are smarter, have more money, more popular, but there are very few people who can outwork me. So I go through, 3 or 4 books a month just to keep my chops up. I look to the people who I do business with to keep my chops up. A lot of people look to me for answers, and if I don't have those answers, I'm required to be able to at least point them in the right direction. So it's a constant grind. The people who say, when you love what you do, you never work another day in your life, lies. I work, but I love it, right? I call lies on that one. I don't know who's not working, but I'm working. But I love it. I love every second of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. I know Michelle has a couple questions for you, so we'll let her go ahead and kick things off.
I will. Thank you so much, Cortez. Is it that I look anxious when I'm over here? Is it that I'm always like, So I do. So I was super excited, right? When I found out that JP was going to be a guest, because OMG, right? I love business and the whole business mentoring thing that you do. I think it's totally, it's amazing. It's exciting. I was trapped. I like to say I was trapped in the corporate business world for so long. And I have that in my tool bag, but I absolutely love the world of business 360, So what is it that you bring as a business mentor? What is it that you have to offer to clientele? Someone who wants to book you as a business coach. What do you bring to the table for someone?
So I think that the biggest thing that I'll bring is a plan of action that is meant just for you, right? So a lot of people come to me and say, I went to your website and I didn't see your pricing. And you won't. I am not McDonald's. You cannot come to JP and order a number 3. I get deep into your business, right? So there's no one who I am associated with, whether they're a client or that I'm coaching, like I'm all up in your business. Like I know everything, right? I dig deep and I build the plan of action based on that. So I can't give you a cookie cutter plan or price because I need to know where you are business wise and mentally. And we'll come back to that mental part because it's so important. And then I just need to understand how your business operates. So I have lots of questions. If you have a brick and mortar, I'm coming to the business. I have pastors that are clients. I'm all up in their church service, all up in their service, just figuring out, personalities. Then I need to know how you learn, right? Because if
Yeah.
I'm giving you a bunch of visuals and you're not a visual learner,
Yep.
I'm wasting your time, your money, and then I'm wasting my time, which
Waste.
is money. So the thing that I bring that a lot of business coaches, I don't have cookie cutter programs. Not one. I never have. My business, I create very niche relationships, whether it's through coaching or you becoming a client.
That is wonderful. Okay, so let me take a little bit of a turn here. There's such a joke that is waiting in that whole McDonald's thing that you just said. I'm trying to leave it alone, but I really just want to go with it. It's like, can I get a number 3 with a side of relational intelligence mixed with business savvy with a little bit of I won't just, but we're gonna leave it there. So with the coaching, you just mentioned, okay, you do churches. I'm assuming you say you do things with people who are trying to start podcasts. When you were deciding, when in relation to becoming a business coach, right? When you set forth to do this, was it just the love of like helping people start business? Like, what was the grassroots for you starting your business? Like, what was it that planted the seed for you saying, okay, I can help people do this because I'm pretty darn good at this. My doggone self. Like, what got you started?
So I'll give the short version, but the way I got started as far as consulting, I was actually told that I was too smart to work for somebody else by my mentor, rest in peace, Rick Shank. He was one of my mentors, but he is the first person who ever said to me, "You're too smart to work for anybody else." So that planted the seed. He taught me a lot. And so throughout my business, I actually started out just doing like marketing and promotions for music artists and bands. And then as I got more comfortable and more confident in doing business and learning about contracts and learning about the side that became the coaching side, kind of happened naturally. People were always asking questions. People were always surrounding me. So I'm like, wait a minute, I need to maximize that and, straighten it up a little bit, get it documented. And then when I tell you the biggest joy is when I see the light bulb go off, right? When people really realize like, hey, I can do this, or, hey, I've been running a business, but I was missing something, or I was missing some things. When that light bulb goes off, it makes it all worth it.
Awesome. Well, when we come back, we're going to find out from Miss JPC CEO, what are some of the steps that one could do? Because we know that a lot of people jump into entrepreneurship on a part-time basis. Well, when their business starts to bubble a little bit, how can you help them determine when it's time to go full-time? I know that is a scary leap, and take it from someone who has made that leap with no plan. You really want to have a plan, and we're going to get JP's thoughts on that when we come back. So stick around.
I have done 2 prior Longevity Better Health Now challenges. I decided this time around I needed an extra push. A good thing to remember is 32 pounds is the weight of my 3.5-year-old son, and I am not carrying around a 3.5-year-old basically.
I'm a mother of 4. I just want to see how healthy I can get so that I can be around for a while. It's pretty amazing whenever you're excited to get on the scales every morning and see what the numbers are instead of dreading it.
When I went to convention last year, the day of the 5K, this lady, Merle, came across the finish line, and she was visually impaired. She was blind. From this day forth, I said, I'm changing my lifestyle, and I'm just going to be a whole new me.
I was out of control. I really let myself go. And I thought, okay, who loses 12 pounds in a week? I'm like, this is such a joke. But it happened, and it happened again and again and again. Anybody can do this. If I can do it, you can do it.
Leading up to today has been a whirlwind, but I feel amazing. Everybody makes you feel really awesome when you come here too, so it just kind of like heightens your excitement about everything.
I feel so much better. If I could help just one person be able to do that for their life, then it'd be worth it all.
I feel amazing. I can't believe how far I've came from last year to this year.
I have kept my weight off within 2 to 5 pounds, which is a complete miracle. Let's go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second ever episode of the St. Louis Hustle Podcast, coming to you live and direct from the St. Louis Credit Repair Institute studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Remember, go to stlcreditfix.com for all of your credit restoration needs. Back with my girl, Michelle Aaye up there, and JP CEO is over here. Before we went on the break, JP, we were talking about those of us who may have been started our entrepreneurial journey part-time because we work in a full-time job to put food on the table and do what we got to do, but we got that entrepreneurial itch, so we got to explore that. But when is a good time to make that full-time leap, or what kind of exit strategy should one put together to prepare to do that leap as comfortable and as stress-free as possible?
Oh, that's a good one. That is an excellent question. So I would say the very first thing you do before you even start putting anything on paper is do that mental health check. Entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. You have to be mentally prepared for all the no's. You have to be mentally prepared for all of the things that will literally just fall out of the sky, all of those unexpected things. You have to be really confident in what you're setting out to do. The second thing that I would say is that you really need to be realistic about where you are financially. That's usually number one, and number two are usually the things that scare people the most. So you have to be realistic in where you are financially and then start to plan that way. So if you know that financially you're not really ready, start looking at ways that you can live a little leaner, right? And then you could put those dollars away. I still live fairly lean because entrepreneurship isn't as cut and dry as one would like to think. So I would say look at ways to start living lean and do that now while you still have that steady paycheck, while you still can stack that money, while you still can, still live comfortably, but start taking things away. Start taking things away that are unnecessary. Start cutting back. If you are 10 visits a week to Starbucks, you need to get that down to 1 or 2, right? If you're eating a lot of fast food, that there are tens of millions of thousands and billions of dollars spent at fast food restaurants because we're not taking that time to just go to the grocery store and prepare our meals. So make sure that mentally you are strong enough to understand that it is not going to look how it looks on television. It is not going to look how it looks on Facebook. It's not. Right. The third thing is understanding what you need to actually operate your business. And don't be afraid of humble beginnings. Right. So I'll tell this story. When I first started out, I was actually managing an R&B group. I burned the CDs on my laptop and wrote on them joints. Right. And sold them for $5. Well, guess what? We took that and we flipped it to where we could get that 20 stack CD burner. Then we got fancier with the sleeves. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid. Don't think you have to walk out with the grandest of everything. Just make sure your business is straight. So make sure you're mentally prepared. Whoever you celebrate as your most high, you're going to need them. You will need them. So make sure you're praying, meditating, doing yoga, whatever it is that gets you centered. Make sure that you understand where you really are financially, personally, and then make sure that you understand exactly what you need to get your business started. And again, humble beginnings. Don't go out and spend $10,000 on equipment when you can do it for 200.
Awesome, awesome. I love that mindset. Money and humble beginnings. That's a great strategy. I'm telling you.
Yes.
I walked into my job when I was sick and tired on a Monday morning at 9 o'clock, and by 9:30 I was back in my car on my way home. It was a wrap, and I will
Oh,
tell you
wow.
the one thing that I did have, well, there's actually two things. I did have the mental fortitude for such a journey, but I also got a queen that when I tell you back, boy, if y'all can see the chills just thinking about how my wife had my back and was like, "You got
Mm-hmm.
this." There's nothing like having that partner that makes you feel like you can take on the world and take over the world successfully. So I did have those two things, but money was nah. Humble beginnings, nah. I'm in business. I need to let everybody know. I need to. Yeah, yeah. I was all messed up, JP. I wish I'd have met you a few years ago. Go ahead, Michelle.
No, I was just gonna say, Cortez and I used to work together, and when I tell you there was a shot heard around the world, it was like, Cortez, you did what? You lied. He did what? Man, that dude is, man, he was a legend. It was like, man, everybody was like, child was there. Everybody was like, at the gig, like, man,
Oh, man.
that's gonna be me one day. Man,
You
what
know,
was
you know, so something Cortez said that I want to touch on slightly too is he mentioned his wife
yes,
and
yeah.
having, let me tell you something, having that support, whether it is a wife, a husband, your significant other, your partner, your friendships, all of those things matter because
Yeah.
you are going to get told no more than you are yes. You are going to run into people who undervalue you. You're going to run into situations where you know you can help someone and they're not receiving that help. So having the randoms, I believe in you, all saying I believe in you, I believe in your brand, takes you a long way. It takes you a long way. And it is important. It is important. The people that I say this, the top 5 people that you speak to on a regular basis, if they are not your biggest cheerleaders, get rid of them. Get rid of them. And when I say that, I'm not talking, don't go do nothing violent. Just knock them down on the list a little bit. I want to be clear because I don't. JP told me to take him out the game. No,
we
that's not what
are
I'm saying.
we are filming and recording. So I'm at Home Depot in line with a shovel and some plastic bags. And
No,
my
that's
business
what I'm saying.
mentor said I got to get rid of some people.
Right. So take that. Don't take them out the top 5. Don't do nothing crazy, but just take them out the top 5.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Mr.
Right.
Don't try and play you for what I can think for. Okay, that's quite some advice, coach. What kind of advice? He gonna get us kicked off the earth. We on there.
So
Hilarious.
you touched on the mental health part. What are some things that JP CEO does to stay mentally grounded? Like you said, entrepreneurship is a roller coaster ride. Your ups and downs, your peaks and valleys, and things come out of nowhere and shake your whole world up, flip it upside down, and you need to find the center. How do you do that?
So I have my dad. He's 89 years old. He has dementia, but that's how I unload, right? Or it's either one of those days where I've had a crazy day and he brings up something and it just completely changes my mood. I have a great support system. I have, from people I've known for 30 years to people I've known for 30 days who, if you say anything about JP, I'm the best thing since sliced bread, and everyone needs that. And I'm going to tell you something. I hit my knees. I'm a praying fool. I am a praying fool. I'm in an industry where it is not only male dominated, but it's usually white males. And, I've always been one of those people where I'll add a little chocolate to the scene, but it's not always easy. And I get fought tooth and nail. So I'm praying in the morning, I'm praying in the car, I'm praying before meetings, I'm praying while I'm in the meetings. I'm constantly praying. So and then I get my workout on. Nothing wrong with hitting the weights to let that extra stress out.
Yeah. Right without ceasing.
What you got, Michelle?
I'm trying to recuperate over here from that last little segment. I had to get my life real quick. Without going back in, because we're gonna have to retake in a minute. So I got it because I'm gonna go back in. I love to laugh, and that almost took me out. Hold it. So when I was reading on your page and I saw a picture, and I'm assuming it was you and your dad. Y'all were both in suits. Was that your dad?
Yes.
Okay. Absolutely love that post, right? And because it seems like you feel about your dad the way I feel about my mom. And I love the post because you said, I think one of the captions was, when you go out, he gonna still try to pray, he gonna still try to pay, he gonna sing you a song, someone's gonna take place. Yeah. And I absolutely love that post. The support system and the whole family, mixed in. I mean, you talk about the importance of your support system. I just wanted to just capitalize on that. You talking about your dad. I was, like I said, I was trying to pull it together when you were talking about him, but I just really admire you for just keeping them close, because sometimes people get caught up in business and they aren't able to keep their loved ones as close when they get into their senior years, because sometimes the business seems to take precedence. So kudos to you for still being able to wrap daddy up, you know what I'm saying, and keep him right here, especially if he's in the mental state where he is. So just kudos to you.
Thank you.
If I had a point for that, because I don't even know if I had a point for that.
You know what? But that's important. And early on in entrepreneurship for me, I didn't have the balance. I was so focused on making sure that I leveled and I've laid the foundation for my brand that I missed a lot. I missed a lot with my families, my friends. I got dumped a couple times throughout the process because all I did was work. And here I lost my mom. It'll be 4 years this year. That was a huge turn for me. And I was determined to have the balance. But, again, I want to be clear. You have to make sure the people around you understand what your mission is. And that for a while, you will have to put your head in the sand. So it's important that the person that you're laying next to or that you're sharing yourself with understand that when you're building a brand, it's important that they're flexible with you. But the second level is when you're maintaining a brand is even more important because now you're fighting at a different level. So you have to make sure that, you're having those transparent conversations and, keeping the balance, man, because I tell you what, I have some incredibly long days, and sometimes it's a niece or a nephew that hits me with a text. I got told just yesterday by my niece that my spaghetti was litty. Made my whole day. I made spaghetti, shared it with my niece, you know what I mean? And it was a long day. It was a long, hard day. And she was just like, hey, TT, that spaghetti was litty. I was like, right on. It made me laugh. So it just, the rest of the day didn't even matter at that point. So, I'll tell you guys a funny story. So I
Hold,
meal
hold that
prep
thought. Hold
because I
that
am
thought.
busy.
Hold
Oh,
that
go ahead.
thought. So if you're going to tell us a funny story, do it on the other side of the break. And of course, we're not going to let the founder of Unheard Media get out of here without talking about the importance of branding, building a brand, maintaining a brand. But we're going to hear that funny story first, and then we're going to let her close us out with
Gotcha.
the importance of building a brand and how to maintain that thing, man, because so many entrepreneurs are missing the mark on the importance of a brand because that's what's going to stand the test of time. So we'll get JP's thoughts on that when we come back. So don't touch that dial. Kill, what's up, St. Louis? Let me ask you a serious question. If I saw $20 about to fall out of your pocket, you want me to tell you, right? Well, the fact of the matter is, I see $300 to $600 per month falling out of your paycheck every month. So guess what? This is me telling you. For those of you who do not know me, my name is H. Cortez, wealth strategist, author, and I'm on a mission to empower our community economically through financial education. The last 5 years, I've been fortunate enough to be trained and coached by some multi-millionaires. And you know what I learned? Is that there's only 4 things that we have to overcome if we ever plan to build generational wealth. You have to overcome taxes, you have to overcome debt, we have to overcome our credit woes, and we have to overcome our lack of asset accumulation. But if we stop the bleeding by overpaying taxes $300 to $600 per month, and that's not me saying that, that comes straight from the IRS. So if you want to know if you're one of the 80 million people that's overpaying taxes, all I want you to do is go over to payraise.wealthcreationplaybook.com, watch a short video, answer 7 questions, and you can find out if you're overpaying taxes, but more importantly, you'll find out what you can do to stop the bleeding. Payraise.wealthcreationplaybook.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. I am your co-host, Cortez Hustle. That is Michelle A. And we're here with JP, CEO. And she was about to tell us a funny story before we went to break. So we're going to let her, before we let her go, tell her funny story. And then she's going to give us a couple tips on the importance of branding and how to build and maintain a brand. And then I know she's got to run. So we appreciate you. I'm giving you my thank yous right now, but I want you to take the last 4 minutes or so and give us your funny story and close us out with a couple tips on building and maintaining a brand and why that's important for entrepreneurs.
All right, so the funny story is I meal prep. I have to. I'm very busy. I have my dad, so I'm in the kitchen and I'm actually on a conference call, but I'm cooking at the same time, right? And he had been fairly quiet, and so he pops his head out of his room. He didn't even come completely out of the room, and he says just randomly, you got it smelling good in here, Betty Crocker. So I'm on this conference call, so they're cracking up because he's randomly coming out calling me Betty Crocker. I'm like, okay, thanks, Dad. I'm not sure how to take that, but thank you. Things like that. Like I'm knee deep into this conference call about, trying to nail this contract, and he's so things like that keep you level. So if you have your parents, both your parents, count it as a blessing. Hug them, kiss them, do everything you can while you can.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you guys wanted, yeah. So you guys wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of branding and marketing. Were there specific questions, or you just want me to give some pointers?
Yeah, if you can just give us a couple tips. First, define what a brand is. Why is it so important for entrepreneurs to get this at the very beginning and go ahead and make efforts to build and then maintain that brand?
So in my opinion, a brand is not what you think it is. It's actually what the folks on the other side of your business think it is. So, so because those are your potential customers, clients, partners, sponsors. So the brand is what the messaging is actually taken as from the end user, whether you're delivering a service or a product. So make sure you remember that. I hear it all the time. The entrepreneur is saying what the brand is, and that's great. But are you listening to the end user to really find out if your messaging is clear? I'll segue into what is your messaging. Are you saying you're the best stylist? Are you saying you're the best coach? Or are you saying, you're a niche person? What are you saying? Be clear on what you're saying. The importance of that message, I couldn't put a dollar amount on it. I couldn't put anything on it. It is so important. When I hear people, entrepreneurs, small businesses say, they don't have time for branding or marketing, or they don't have the money to do so, or, they don't see it as a necessity, I give them 3 to 5 examples, and I'll tell you: Walmart, Apple, Microsoft, McDonald's, right? And you could throw in Nissan. They never stop. They make millions and billions of dollars a year, yet they're constantly pushing their brand, pushing their messaging, pushing marketing, pushing ways to promote and to get people to constantly buy their products. So if people who are making billions of dollars find the time and the money to do so, how do we look not doing so? And I know the big thing is always about budget. I said it earlier: humble beginnings. If your budget is $300 a month, you need to make sure that you're maximizing those $300 a month. There are so many things you can do. There's social media, there's digital billboards, there are networking events, so many things that you could do for free or little money. Stop walking into rooms and not working that room. Stop only going into rooms that you're known. One of the biggest misconceptions I hear is people saying, I want to get to the point where when I walk into rooms, everyone knows who I am. Nah, I never want to be that. I never want to always walk into rooms where people know who I am. I want to constantly introduce myself, because that's how you grow. And that's the branding part of your messaging should include some level of growth.
Gotcha. I love it. Well, JP, it has been real and it has been real fun. We appreciate you taking the time to come hang out with us on the St. Louis Hustle podcast. I don't know if Michelle had any final questions, but she don't get to talk no more for the rest of the episode. So never mind. If she did have something, it ain't going down today. But no, we're going to let you get on out of here. But we appreciate you so much. And I know you wanted to give a special shout out before you go. So go ahead and give that special shout out.
So today is the birthday of the first love I ever had, my mother, Darlene Phillips, aka Diva Doll. Happy birthday, Mom. I love you. I miss you. We all miss you, but I'm holding it down. I'm the little sister that's the big sister, so I'm taking it one day at a time, but you are missed. We love you so much.
Awesome. Sorry for your loss. Sounds like she was dearly beloved, and she's done a great job, because you are making a huge impact on a lot of lives, and we appreciate everything that you're doing. So we're going to cut to a quick break, and when we come back, we got our responses to our question of the day. So keep it locked right here. It might help if I turn my mic on.
I'm not a good multitasker. I wasn't ready.
All right, listen, guys, we know we are at the top of the hour, and we promise you our responses to the question of the day. But let's do this instead. Let's take the question of the day offline. Do us a huge favor, man. Comment below your response to the question of the day. Can a hustler and a non-hustler be married or survive in a long-term committed relationship? Let us know your thoughts. If you really want to be a part of the show, then let us know via an Instagram DM video, 60 seconds or less. 60 seconds or less. DM us at Instagram at St. Louis Hustle Podcast your response. And if we choose your response to be on the show next week, then we got a free vacation voucher for you. It's got to be 60 seconds or less. It's got to be entertaining, but give us your honest thoughts. Shell, you want to give them a teaser of what you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna just real quick. I'm gonna say, can an entrepreneur? Because if you say hustler, then we gonna get all the dope dealers. We'll be like, no. Can entrepreneurs, if you are an entrepreneur and you're dealing with a non-entrepreneur, you are in business for yourself. Can an entrepreneur and a non-entrepreneur can you be in a relationship together? I say no. I am an entrepreneur. I am a business-minded person. It ain't happening for me. Because every time I try it, it just doesn't happen. So if you out there and you can prove me wrong, Mister, if my Mister is out there, nah, be like, this is not what we doing. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna save my response until next week. But if you are a non-entrepreneur and you're looking for love, and you wanna, Shell is out here. She's willing to put it all on the line for this very important case study to see if this is even possible. So call us about this case study. But you got to be a non-entrepreneur, right? We already know that she can make it work with an entrepreneur. You got to be a non-entrepreneur.
That don't have no job. You got to have a job. You work for somebody.
Yes. You might not be working for yourself, but you're gainfully employed working for somebody.
Somebody have a W-2 in your life.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us, man. Quick shout out to some of our sponsors, Focus Network Media. What is it? Your laundry service.
Premium Polish Laundry.
Premium Polish. I was gonna call it Polish Plush. And mess it all the way up.
And the Grooming Lounge by Dwight Foster, who keeps my faded tight. Premier, the Grooming Lounge by Dwight Foster. And y'all, I done took 6, so y'all, I'm not going to work today because I got that corona. So so sorry, I ain't gonna be at work today. Sorry, they said self-quarantine, so I can't make it.
She gotta stay quarantined because she got a small touch of corona.
I don't have a full case. I only got a little bit of corona. So I'm just gonna work a half a day. So I'm not going to work today. Sorry, y'all. I don't make the rules. Don't watch the news. There it is.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this episode of the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. Remember, follow us on Instagram, St. Louis Hustle. Tweet the show at STL_hustle. Like the page. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you guys know people that are dynamic and interesting, successful, and want to be on the show, then have them hit us up. Tag them in this episode. And until next week, get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it. Each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.
All right.